Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Okay, I live in the West End. I'm in the West End.
Oh, okay. That's up by the airport.
Not far. You know, maybe
Okay.
about 15 minutes from the airport. Like close.
Oh,
I'm right outside of downtown, so
oh,
not too far from the airport, but right
all right.
right by downtown. But everyone, we are live. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru, and I have the brother, and we've been having technical difficulties all day, but we finally got it figured out.
Okay.
I'm online with the brother Rashad TV, and today's topic, I know we're going into
Still there?
Yeah, I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you did. You went into a freeze zone. I'm Rashad Hassan.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I'm Rashad Hassan. I'm with the African American Chronicle and Sat Band Music Television and the American Black History Channel. But we're going to be talking about our books that we have here today.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So tonight's topic is Black inventions that not only had an impact on America, but an impact on the world. Rashad, let me jump into this question. Why aren't we given credit in regards to our ingenuity in the inventions we had? Like the only thing we're somewhat getting given credit for is peanut butter and George Washington Carver and what he was able to do with the peanut. Why is that?
Well, I can tell you this, brother. The inventions that were created by our ancestors are so vast and so important to the American society that some people don't want our children, especially in the public schools, to know how important our contributions have been in the form of inventions. I've got on my first volume, I got more than 700 pages.
Oh, wow.
Of illustrations. And you can get it in a hard copy or you can get it in a electronic PDF form. And what happens, man, the reason, to get back to your question, is that some people really don't want this information to go out to the kids. They really don't.
Why?
It's a threat, man. It's a threat to showing our children in the public schools how important they are and how they can be like their ancestors and create inventions rather than just falling off into sports or falling off into rap music. So, you know, they just want to steer them away from that. That's my reason. I'll give you a good example.
Go ahead.
I was in Minneapolis and
brother Rashad, am I are you hello? Okay, we're good. Go ahead.
I'm saying
we're good. Go ahead.
For example, man, I was in Minneapolis about a year and a half ago, and I was calling on schools to purchase these books. Now, I went to the Minneapolis public schools to some Black people, and I showed them all my material. I mean, I laid this stuff out, brother, very professionally. And they looked at all of my stuff, and the next thing I get from them is, he had showed us your European history. And I'm like, I need to speak to your boss because I don't have nothing European unless it's the African explorers. So I went to her boss and I laid it out to her boss. She says to me, we're looking for rainbow material.
Hey, listen, we don't talk in code. What do you mean by rainbow material? So we can go ahead and be on the same page.
Oh, okay, man. It took me 3 weeks to figure it out because I was pretty square. And it came out to the LGBT community.
Right.
That's the material they were looking for in Minneapolis. So I'm thinking to myself, it took me 3 weeks to figure that out. When you say code, it was code for me, brother, because I stepped back and say LGBT, it must be this rainbow stuff. And so at that particular time, I said, it's time for me to get out of Minneapolis and start trying to sell my stuff somewhere else because I'm not going to push that off on these children.
Right.
And so they got a whole new agenda, Dinus, in the public school system in America. Our children are in danger. They don't want information like this. A brother came to me and told me my information was dangerous. He told me my information. He actually told me, man, he looked at my book. He said, man, you got some dangerous material in there. And I said, yeah, because in this volume 2, man, it's so extensive. I got astronauts that went up in space as well as the inventors. I got all of their their space projects they were working on, how long they went up in space, how many hours it took them to get up in space. It's just expensive. And so people don't want our kids to know how great our people have been, man. We've been, brother, man, I can tell you, man, the next time you're in Georgia, I'm gonna make sure.
No. I live in Georgia. I live in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
I live in
I gotta get you a copy of, at least an electronic copy of this book here.
Brother, I'll buy a book. I mean, I'll read it to my son. I support, brother. You just let me know. I'll come meet you. You can email it. I mean, mail it. But I'll get a physical copy. No problem.
Well, this physical copy is heavy, brother. But
I don't care. I mean, I lift weights. I'll be all right.
Okay, but I hope I answered your question a little bit. If not, you can shoot it back to me again.
No. You did answer it. Shout out to New Beginnings. Thank you for the super chat. Shout out to Doug, everybody. Our moderator, our main moderator. Now you mentioned outer space. Now, this is through NASA, or is this through like a private entity as far as the Black Americans that went to
outer space?
Yes.
This is through NASA. Every last Black astronaut or scientist I have in this book and their missions. That's the thing is I got their missions from countdown to them going up in space, what they were doing in space, when they came back, the whole bit. And that includes men and women, because we can't leave the sisters out.
Right.
And we had so many dynamic people working for NASA, and they hid them just until recently when they had the sister, the mathematician,
hidden figures.
Her. When I went there, man, to get some pictures of her, say by 2000, they just had a cartoon of her. I didn't know anything about how physically she looked other than a caricature. That's how they were hiding information out. So it took me a long, long time, brother, to get this information together to make sure that our ancestors and our future kids and our kids now will see exactly what we have been doing. And I'm thinking if I can get these kids to see what their ancestors have created, we will be on our way to creating. You still there, man?
I'm right here. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Continue to go. Continue to go. Right here with you.
Okay. To get our kids to see exactly who we are and what we are capable of doing. And you know, a lot of people say, wow, that's too much information, man, to give them. So what I did, man, is I boilerplated it down. I got activity books. I take these to the school system, 32 pages versus 700 pages, true and false questions, multiple choice questions, sentence completion, and writing assignments. So they could just read about these people and they could recreate inventions. There's people that's doing our inventions over and over and over and making money right now. Our kids can make money off of creating the inventions and redoing them, redesigning, coming up with something new based upon what our ancestors did. And a lot of people in America, in the public school system, I give this to you again, don't want this information to be out there. And so I've been knocking on doors, brother, knocking on a lot of schools' doors. And these people that are in charge of these programs, they want them to do. Some teachers told me they were trying to do rap in school.
Of course.
I said, what?
Yeah. Rashad, yeah. I mean, there's a school, like a little charter school over here in Atlanta. And, you know, they have a 1 + 1 = 2, 2 + 2 = 4.
That's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but
nothing wrong. I mean, but see, why they gotta teach it in rap?
Well, that's the thing. Why they gotta teach you to rap? So they feel as if the only way they can reach our kids is through rap. That's the point I'm making. They won't do that anywhere else.
Well, see, that's a lot of hocus pocus stuff that they're trying to dumb down our kids. Get them a pencil and paper and make them do the equations.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Show him that our ancestors have done these equations. See, people think our kids are trying to shy away something that they have naturally, and that's math and science. That's a natural thing to them. They just have forgotten about it, and our current administrators and teachers don't want them to know about it. And that's the honest to God truth. Show them how to bounce a ball. They can bounce a ball. Don't show them how to do any business. Like I've done a lot of extensive research on Honorable Marcus Garvey, but they don't want to talk about this man. They don't want to talk about these people, man. They want to make our kids forget they even existed on something that's good. I know I've seen you go over to the continent.
Yes.
On the African continent. I see you over there. It was a nice picture I seen over there that you had with all these kids with the muskets, with the Africans with the muskets. You were just in there. I was like, wow, look at this brother. You know, that was so funny to me, but it's real. We could have took these inventions, brother, to Africa. Our ancestors could have had these inventions in Africa to build up the country in Africa. But you know what they did? Back when Booker T. Washington was sending brothers to Africa, right? They ended up in the river, 3 or 4 of them.
Okay. Well, I read a book. They didn't go into detail on what happened to them, but they said they passed away. But basically, Booker T. Washington was exporting the Tuskegee method, Tuskegee model, and he went to Togo, he went to Sudan, and he went to Liberia.
Exactly.
And yeah, it didn't. They didn't say how the students passed away. They just said they passed away. But you said they ended up in the river.
So yeah, they ended up in the river.
Oh wow. Can you go into about that?
I've done about 15 years of research on it. But see, he didn't get to Liberia, man, because they tried, the people in England steered him away from Liberia and told him he wasn't an African. But see, he was. He knew about Africa and he was trying to help us. They don't want to teach our kids about Booker T. Washington. Like you said, they'll tell us about George Washington Carver, which was the greatest scientist.
In fact, hold on one second, brother. Sorry to cut you off. So everyone, this book by Miss Tyreen Wright that I just completed the other day, Booker T. Washington in Africa: The Making of a Pan-Africanist. You guys have to get this book, and it talks about the Tuskegee method or model, and how he was attempting to export that to Africa, but was pretty much sabotaged. So it talks about that. So guys, this is a very powerful book, and that's where I learned about that. But in this book, it just spoke on them passing away. It didn't say they were murdered, but I just learned something new, and I'll let Miss Wright know that as well. But,
well, to go along with what you're saying, let's stay on this topic for a minute. Sir Harry Hamilton Johnston, guy by the name of Sir Harry Hamilton Johnston, who was almost like the CIA representative of England, was told to come over here and go down to Tuskegee Institute and see what the blacks were doing in Tuskegee. This was a brilliant brother, had a brilliant plan. Booker T. Washington was a brilliant brother, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And people want to discount this brother. If we'd have stayed on that course, Dynasty, we would have been on the right course. I mean, you know, if he and Du Bois had got together and put their heads together.
Let me ask you this, brother. How do you feel about Du Bois? He just seemed like a hater. He didn't like Booker T. Washington. He didn't like Marcus Garvey. Like, how do you feel about Du Bois?
Well, you know, I had mixed feelings, brother, about Du Bois, and I had a lot of mixed feelings about him up until recently, until I discovered some of the things that he was doing and how he created the Niagara movement back in the early 1900s. And these people kind of sabotaged his organization there and pulled him off into the NAACP, which is an organization that is not really good for us.
No.
And took all of Du Bois's plans and made the NAACP. But they finally, Du Bois was so heavy into Pan-Africanism before Garvey got here that he was mad at Garvey because Garvey came here and organized the regular brothers, had them sending in money just by the barrels of trying to get ships, trying to build business, and trying to go back to Africa. So being that Du Bois looked at Garvey, he got a little jealous, and they sabotaged Garvey by going to the FBI. It was the very, very prominent bourgeoisie Negroes that sabotaged Mr. Garvey and set him up with the FBI. And so I had mixed feelings when I looked at a piece called The Appeal, and it was something where Du Bois had went to the United Nations on behalf of the black people in America to indict them for what they've been doing to the blacks. And they kicked him out of the NAACP. They kicked Du Bois out of the NAACP. He went to Africa, went to Ghana. He died in Ghana. And the last thing he said that Garvey was right. So I changed my mind about him being a hater, which he was a hater in the beginning. He very much was, along with the bourgeoisie, but he was a very intelligent brother, man. He was down here in Atlanta at Atlanta University. He was a very brilliant brother, but they see when brothers don't get together and organize, man, as a team and as a unit, and want to, you know, push one another aside, or I'm better than you. That was what he was into, man. And had not he been into that, had they teamed up with Garvey and these other brothers that get a dime or a nickel, and they think they're better than the brothers that don't have that much, you know, everything falls apart, brother. It's just like what's happening in Africa now. Africa got 54 countries over there, and those brothers over there getting these positions, these presidents getting these positions, and they don't want to do nothing for their people. And then the Europeans and the deep state and the bankers push these brothers with guns and everything else, and they start killing each other. And they can get nothing done, like Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Nyerere, all these brothers, man, that were leaders when during Garvey's movement. They came to look at Garvey. They looked up Garvey like Garvey was looking up Booker T. Washington. And so, man, my feelings is I got mixed feelings on Du Bois, but I'm not so much critical of him now as I study some of the things that he was doing. So I kind of toned down my mixed feelings of, well, he was a hater, or he was this and that and other. I had to go look at what was he doing. I was like, what is Du Bois doing? And I discovered it. And so when they kicked him out of the NAACP, when he wrote that article on the appeal and went to the United Nations, that's when I started changing my, I would say, negative opinion of Du Bois, and started further looking into where he was, looking into his head, you know, and seeing who he really was. But, you know, we got this light-skinned complex back there, you know what I'm saying? A dark-skinned brother was like yourself, you weren't considered as nobody. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They had a color complex there back in that time. So that's another discussion, but you know what I'm saying. I hope you do anyway.
Oh yeah, okay. Absolutely. Shout out to we got Shirley in the chat room. Shout out to Ifoza. I understand our inventions have impacted America and the world. However, Black Africa hasn't been impacted yet. If Africa is weak, then the Black race will be disrespected. Any innovation made should be used to strengthen the motherland. Well, that's what Booker T. Washington was trying to do.
Exactly. But anytime we're trying to organize each other, man, there's always somebody higher up in the deep state, in the these people that really have a lot of money, that don't want us for some reason. I guess because we are Hebrew Israelites. Number one, this is what I found out. I found out that we went to Africa basically because in 70 AD, the Romans chased us up out of Jerusalem. So we went to a place, and I think you did a report on with some of the brothers over there in one of those little countries you were in about Negro land in Judah. I think I see.
Yeah. I mean, brother, please don't take this the wrong way, and we can get back on topic. But that's been debunked. And when I went to Weta, which a lot of the Hebrew Israelites say is Judah, they like were laughing, and they were like, no, that's not true. I've been to Weta 3 times, and none of that is. I just personally, brother, I don't understand it. In fact, just me traveling all throughout Africa, I do not understand our infatuation with Israel. I don't understand our infatuation with that country. I mean, I just don't get it. Well, how beautiful Africa is, I just don't get why we want to be tied so bad to Israel. I don't. It makes no sense.
Well, let me say this, and I hope you don't get offended when I say it. When I seen your report with those brothers over in Africa, I was saying, wow, they don't know about, just because most of them couldn't read about those maps that was being produced during the slave trade. So I kind of said, okay, that's one of the reasons. Now the other reason, you see these brothers out here on the corner, these Israelites, these Hebrew Israelites out there shouting out and this and that and the other. Well, see, they got to come into some kind of perspective, man, of what they're doing out there. See, the only reason they're doing it is they find out a little bit of information, Dinus, and they take that little teeny bit of information, run out on the street corner and start hollering and shouting. And so when you say, well, look at these brothers, let me go over to Africa and find out about this myself. And you come back because you've done primary research, understand? And you can debunk them. But that's another story. And I think me and you, when we meet up, we'll talk about that again. Do you want to continue to talk about it?
No, I'll end it on this. When the Portuguese came to West Africa, we were Yoruba, we were Fon, we were Igbo. Like,
yes.
There's no, before white people brought the Bible to West Africa, no tribes were calling themselves Hebrew.
Okay, you know what, man? The way I see that is the Bible is stories about our ancestors from Nimrod on up. We are the ones that disobeyed God, man. We are the ones that disobeyed God, and it was a 400-year curse put on us, man, because we were the hard-headed people that didn't eat, that they didn't crucify Christ, but they had their hands into discounting him. And so, and making idols and worshiping idols. I mean, I've done the research too, man. I haven't been on the continent like you, and I really respect you, man. Because first I was looking at you when Dr. Mumby came over here. I said, who is this brother? And I had to get into going to your sites to say, well, this brother, he's doing his research. So you're doing research, brother, and you are very smart. But other brothers, man, they're not doing the research like you're doing. But I can do more and more research, and based upon what you're saying, I'll go back and look this up, and I'll come to some sort of conclusion. But I'll tell you one thing, brother, we are the ones that were idol worshiping and all this other disrespecting God. And until we come back spiritually with God, no man can do this. Garvey tried, Booker T tried. Lots of people have tried, man, but the only one that can get us out of this situation is Almighty God. Until we spiritually start in our heart, start working with each other, loving each other, stop hating on each other, and get down to brass tactics like these inventions and like all this research that you're doing over in Africa, trying to unite with the brothers over in Africa until we, and I'm talking about coming on a spiritual level, man, until we ask forgiveness, repent from what we've been doing to each other, repent from what our ancestors have done in the past, like Nimrod, all that Babylonian stuff, and get back to God. We're going to be in the same situation, Dinus. I hate to tell you this, but this is based upon my research and what I've come up with and my conclusions and looking at problems that's confronting our race.
Okay, all right. So back to the inventions.
Okay,
everybody was here. So
I'm glad we're having this conversation, brother.
What inventions that are out there that are important, that change the course of history, that we might not know about, that are invented by Black men?
Well, I'll tell you, the first one I can tell you about is the stoplight. I mean, if they didn't have,
okay. Who created the stoplight?
The brother that did that was a brother, not Granville T. Woods, but the other brother, his name escapes me now. You got to understand, I got millions and millions of inventions. The telephone apparatus, building blocks with sides, disposable syringes, propellers for vessels, liquid fuel for nuclear reactors. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Nuclear fuel for nuclear reactors.
Wow.
Automatic cashier machines, ironing boards, life-saving guards, steam engines, photographic print wash, street sweepers, engines, refrigeration. Okay, let's take refrigeration with F.M. Jones. Okay, he did all of these inventions on how to preserve food, to keep food cool. If you go in the supermarket now, you go past those little Dairy Queens with the milk that's setting up there on the shelves and it's being cool. This black man did that. Yeah, it's this antenna testing shields, just building blocks, you know, how to build stuff, telephone alarm apparatus, gas burners, window ventilators. I can go on and on and on. It's just so extensive, bro. And sometimes I have so much on my head that I can't give you unless I start looking at this book and say, okay, elevator device, window ventilators for railroads, cars, gas burners, and sisters are in here too, by the way. Apparatus transmitting or transmission messages by electricity. Just fire escape ladders. You know, the firemen got all these ladders. I'm just going to go on to some more that
Go ahead.
Just every antenna testing shields, flying machines. Hey, there's some brothers in Haiti that had a flying machine, man. Bicycle supports. I've got so many of them, Dinus. I tell you what, if I wasn't so sleepy from waiting up all night, I could run this stuff down to you even more, man. But it's just like I told you, this one book is 700 pages. Then I got another book that I did volume 1 with the pictures in it that for little school kids, they can look at the pictures. I didn't put all the writing in there, but I put descriptions of the book, of the pictures of the inventions. So a little kid in the 4th grade could look at this and he looked at the little blurb under that and he could come to the conclusion of writing it and looking at it and maybe he'll come up with something. Now to top that off, I got one with the patent specification. They can learn how these things were actually made. Now this book here is heavy. Now you think they want this book out there? Do you think they want this out here? These are patent specifications. I got a 3-volume set here, working on another one, because I only have about 1,700, 1,800 inventions in here. That's vast, brother. That's huge. And we could take all this knowledge to Africa with us. That's why they don't want us in Africa. They know that the American black person has the skills and the know-how to uplift every 54 country in Africa, but they will not allow us to think about Africa. That's why the rap music's out there.
Right.
That's why the music in the music industry is controlled by people who don't have our best interest in mind.
Jews from Israel who control the music industry.
Zionists. I didn't want to say that, but you know, you forced my hand. You forced my hand, brother. I didn't want to tell you who the enemy was, you know, and they all in the NAACP too. And the
they founded the NAACP.
Exactly. And our poor black young kids are just going off into, oh, I hate the Confederate flag. I hate the white folks down south, and I hate this and I hate that. That's chaos. They want us to do that so they continue to take over the country. And that's what they're doing. They're making our young people hate each other. Making our young people hate the white folks so much. And the Black Congressional Caucus, I'm gonna tell you, they need to be replaced by some of these young brothers out here that are smart, that have the interest of the people on their heart. Because these brothers been sitting up in them courses, you know, in the politics for 30 years, and they have not done one thing.
Maxine Waters, Auntie Maxine, exactly.
And even now, now, if you force me, brother, I'll tell you about the brother down here in Georgia too.
John Lewis,
riding off of Dr. King.
Yeah, it still is.
Yeah,
his claim to fame is I got my butt kicked right next to Dr. King. I was the lucky person to get my butt kicked right next to Dr. King, and he's been riding off that ever since.
See, that's fake, bro. That is so fake. And Jesse Jackson, he's another one that sold us out. He got, let's do Ebonics. What? Ebonics? And poor Dr. Cosby, I don't know what to say about Dr. Cosby, who was out here, even whatever he was doing, I ain't gonna say I go along with anything he's doing with those women. Let me tell you something. Dr. Cosby put millions of dollars in these so-called black Yankee colleges down here, and they got a nerve to take his name off of their colleges because the scientists told him to. Same thing with poor Angela Davis down there in Alabama right now. She's gonna get an award, and the scientists told him, don't give her that award.
Right.
And she was born in Alabama. So, brother, it's a conspiracy against our people, not to teach them inventions, not to teach them space sciences, not to let them go into sciences. No, let them go into rap. Let them run that ball up and down the court, and let them go buy them tennis shoes for Michael Jordan that he paid $5 or $6 for, and we're gonna sell them to the kids and make them think they got the greatest thing ever. Well, let's put this old television show on called Blackish or Atlanta Housewives, and then the Chinese will sell them everything. Chinese selling them hair, Chinese selling them all kinds of product. I went into the store today, man, down here in Stone Mountain, just because Shirley wanted to go in there with me. I said, I don't want to go in that store. So I said, okay, let me go in there for the sake of, keeping the peace. Went in that store was stinking. Black folks was in there shopping like it was nothing, man. We don't even shop with each other now because what? Integration and the civil rights bills messed us up. We done lost everything we ever gained, everything our ancestors gained because of integration. Garvey showed them that we had the money. When he showed them that, I'm not saying it so loud, but they said, hey, wait a minute. Those Negroes gonna find out who they really are and how much power they got. Let's take them off the farms. Let's don't give them no subsidies. Don't give them no subsidies like we giving these Europeans that just came in through Ellis Island. We're giving them everything, and they haven't given our people nothing. We helped build this country, brother. These inventions will prove it. This will prove what we have done. But they don't want to give, when I say they, I'm talking about the deep state, the international bankers, all of them hate us, bro. Why do you think they hate us, man? Why? Because they're afraid because they know who we are. It's us that don't know who we are, brother. We are the ones that don't know. They know who we are, and they don't want to allow us ever to come back. That's why they bombed the Wall Street in Oklahoma. Those brothers were building up, and this was doing segregation, I might add. Integration made these younger brothers feel a sense of equality. There's no equality if we don't own no banks. Where is our banks? Where is our Air Force? Where is our Marine?
Hey, we have the Citizens Trust Bank in here in Atlanta. We got a black-owned bank, Citizens Trust Bank.
Well, I didn't know that, brother. You
didn't know that? There's a branch in Stone Mountain.
No, I didn't know that.
There's one in Lithonia off of Panola Road.
The brothers down here were really fortunate that they were able to build something. You understand? I didn't know that. I want to visit there. And I want to visit that particular location, man, that you're telling me about.
It's right on Panola.
Well, nobody in the United States know this now. I can tell you this, man, because it used to be a lot of black banks around. A lot of things were around when we had segregation that is no longer here. I'll pull my hat off to that, brother. You taught me something here tonight that I didn't even know. Well, I'll be. That's wonderful, man. I hope they're supporting the black bank.
Yeah, I bank with them.
Okay, that's cool, brother. You are an intelligent brother, man. I gotta respect you, man. I really do. I admire when I run into brothers like you, man, young brothers like you. It gives me hope. Because a lot of times I fall into looking at what's going on around out here, all this nonsense, man, and I get very, very sad and depressed. So when I run into a brother like you, my whole spirits light up again. Like right now, I might have been kind of sleepy and tired from doing a television show up in Minneapolis, but you really lifted me up, man, with some of the things that you brought to my attention today. And I know we're going to talk again, but I'm sorry, man, but you go ahead and shoot me some more stuff out there. I don't know.
It's a little off topic, but from what you're seeing, all right, from the black community, as far as just the nonsense, what's the end game? If you could predict 20 years from now on the route we're going, how's this going to end for the Black American in 20 to 30 years?
Self-destruction. The reason I say that is because they're going to try to replace us with the Mexicans. This is conspiracy. They're going to replace us with the Asians and the Palestinians and the Arabs. They all in the community. They all have our stores. And my friend said to me the other day, hey, man, they don't want nothing. The blacks don't want anything. All they want to do is party, drink their whiskey, smoke their smoke, go to bed with women. And that's the extent of what they're doing. And I'll be trying to tell them, man, see, I'm for black people. I don't want to see it like that. But brother, we on a path of self-destruction. And they got us there because the system is helping to push us over the edge. They're helping our young folks feel that there are the prisons are filled up with brothers, man. Do you know that? The prison system is full of black men. You take a prison, you got 1 million black men in prison. That means 1 million people can't vote. That means 2 to 3 children can't be born. This is genocide, brother. So 15, 20 years from now, if they don't turn around, we're gonna self-destruct, bro. That's what I see. And I hate to say that, man. I want to have hope.
Keep it playing. We gotta tell the truth.
Yeah, but I want to have hope, man. But what I see going with these people, pants hanging down. Come on, bro. Come on. What woman want a man with his pants hanging down?
They're getting all the women pregnant in the hood. What are you talking about? The women, that's what they like.
That's what I kind of figured out. They wanted quick access.
Yeah. They're the men with the pants hanging down. They're definitely getting laid. No problem.
Yeah, that's what I see, man. So the women have went to a debased kind of situation. Our women have like on the pole, going dancing at the club on the pole. Please, what kind of life are you showing the little sisters, the little girls? What don't you care anymore about your self-worth? That you don't even care about your self-worth to walk around pants hanging down, talking about the women like a dog on these records? They want them to talk like that. They want them to talk and stuff like that. They think this is cute. This is not cute. This is foolishness. So if they continue this up, 50, see, they're young now, right? But you said 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
They'll be right out there on that corner with a bucket in their hand, begging for pennies when they could have had the world. Because the genius is inside them, bro. They got the gold inside them, but they don't realize it. So I'm sorry to give that report, man.
No. So what are your thoughts on like saying, okay, let's just the American experiment didn't work out. Let's just abandon ship and build in Africa. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I would certainly want to go to Africa, but I saw a brother's report, and I'm sure you might have seen it on YouTube. It said, man, it's no use in us going to Africa unless we have our standing army, our military. And I looked at the brother and I thought about it because I've been studying Liberia for 15 years. And I remember when black soldiers were over in Liberia during segregation. It was black soldiers. Roosevelt went and passed and reviewed them. But now who's over there? White soldiers. White soldiers in Liberia, bro. So these African leaders, you know, I wanted to go back to Africa. My friend is in the Ivory Coast. He calls me up the other day. Hey, man, come on over here to Ivory Coast. I'm dealing with China. I'm dealing with this. He used to live with me in Hollywood when I was doing those screenplays for Garvey. Mm-hmm. And that's how him and I became friends. He had a show called Satellite Stars in France, and we became friends. And I said, wow, if I go to Africa, I got to go with somebody I know, like Renee. He's in the Ivory Coast. Hey, brother, come on over here. I got some land for you. He told me this 2 weeks ago. I got some land over here, man. I'll give you some land. And it's right on the coast, right on the Atlantic Ocean. And I trust him because me and him like brothers. You know, I'll fight him on all and up and down Hollywood Boulevard if he gets off on the wrong track, and he'll get back with me, and we're friends.
Right.
I know him. Like, you know, them brothers over there, when you came in front of the musket the other day, I thought I got a big kick. That was beautiful, bro. That was beautiful. But I got to know somebody over there before I go. And this other brother on YouTube said, man, it must be crazy. I'm not going to Africa unless I got a standing military. And I said, well, this brother got a point there. Will the United States allow us to have a standing military? No. Will the United States allow us to go back to Africa in masses? No, because we are the economic engine for this country. We make this country go because we are the spenders. We're not saving, we're spending. Spend, spend, spend. Go out there and buy your hair from the Koreans. Buy your hair products from them. Buy everything, buy your groceries from the Palestinians. And these brothers down here, man, I was shocked. I went up there on, I was down here in Stone Mountain, and I was gonna give some brothers some money to take all these trees I had cut down, you know, when the sanitation department comes by, and they say this, you know, a beer or something to drink. So I went up to this filling station, man, and these brothers was in this liquor store, and they were buying all this stuff. And I looked behind the counter, and I said, "Ma'am, where are you from? North Vietnam?" "No, I'm not from North Vietnam." And I'm just saying this because I figured she's from Vietnam. Somebody that we were over there fighting, and she was in the community, the black community, and them brothers didn't have a thought about going in there, spending their money with them. They should have been owning that store. Same thing with South Central, Los Angeles. First time I seen these sisters, they were in the shop with their toenails, and the Nason was in there painting their toenails. It blew me. I was blown away. I was like, what's going on with this? Why are these sisters sitting up here letting these Koreans paint their toenails in South Central? Now South Central is controlled by them. Compton's controlled by the Mexicans.
Right.
Pushing us out, brother. If we don't turn around and start loving each other, and these young folks start understanding who our ancestors were before integration came down the pipeline, and get back together, heaven help us, bro. Heaven help us. We're self-destructing daily, on a daily basis. That's my observation, bro.
Now you said you were in Minneapolis. You were going school to school to pitch your book.
Mm-hmm.
Now the resistance that you got were from black faculty.
Black and white.
Okay, so the black faculty, like, I mean, why are we so quick to turn on each other, especially when we're pushing for something positive like you have? But then we whine and complain about Trump.
There's nothing I complain about Trump. The other day he had Dr. Carson, who I interviewed, who's in my book there, a brilliant surgeon. The blacks hate on him because he's smart. Then they'll tell us that Trump's a racist. I'm saying, wait a minute, Trump just had all these black folks in the White House the other day talking about prison reform. He was talking about building an economic base in the community that was downtrodden, the people in the downtrodden areas, building them up. And the black congressional caucus didn't even show up because they're so hateful. These are hateful people, man. These people are our enemies. These black congressional people are enemies to the black people in our posterity. And the NAACP is another enemy organization. And as long as these brothers don't realize what's going on and not stop letting people tell them Trump's a racist, give me the proof that this man's a racist. What did Obama do for us? And I was an Obama supporter. I got doors slammed in my face out there drumming the beat for Obama. But look what he has done. He has opened the door for all kinds of filth to come in our nation. All kinds of filthy behavior, pushing this stuff off on the kids from the kindergarten level. You know, these kids talking about I'm a girl. Little girls talking about their boys. Little boys talking about their girls. This is foolishness, man. This is what this man created. President Trump said he didn't want no transgenders in the army, and I don't blame him because I used to be in the army, and I certainly wouldn't want that foolishness beside me when I go in there to take a shower with the rest of the people. So right is wrong, brother. Now, in America, right is wrong. And they're pushing it off on the kids, man. If you got kids in the public school system, brother, you better watch everything they come home with, because they're gonna come home with 2 daddies and 2 moms, and they're boys wanting to be girls. Brother, it's wrong, and our people know it's wrong, and the ministers are not saying anything about it because they're filling their pockets up. Yeah. You know, and they don't want to come out. See, this stuff could have been stopped when Obama did it. Had they came out and say, look, rather than 1 or 2 coming out, the rest of them set back and fell back and well, I guess it's okay. No, it's not okay, brother, because our children is our wealth. Our children is the most important thing we got. They are our posterity, and we don't need them no more confused than what they really are, man. That's what Obama did. That's why I got film on Obama. I went to DC, man, to his inauguration. Like I said, I was knocking on doors for him. I believed in him. And it was a lot of other people believed in this man. But he sold us out, just like all the black politicians, the preachers. They're selling us out. Young people, I ask, if young people are watching this show now, I implore them to go and do research like you, brother. You're out there, you're researching, you're reading. You don't take things, you don't accept, dare to be great. That's all I can say, man. I was talking about people like Tony Brown, the Black Journal. Those people back when I was in DC, man, they was telling me I could do things I didn't never thought I could do. He was throwing me in the television station, say, you better not be late. Don't come in my class late. If you come 1 minute, don't even come. These were standards, bro. These is all standards, bro. So, bro, 15, 20 years from now, if we keep going on this course, brother, we're blowing ourselves up. And they want to blame Mr. Trump. Trump has actually stopped the Illuminati, the deep state, these international bankers for taking over the United States of America. And he has done more for black people than any president. And they talk about Clinton was the first black president. Clinton got more brothers in jail than you could shake a stick at. And they wanted to have Miss Hillary take over this country as president. She would have had us in hell, man, because she's involved with the deep state, international bankers, Illuminati, and the Rothschilds. I said it, the Rothschilds. They're the ones that's creating all this devilment in the world. And if these brothers want to sit around there and drink their whiskey, run down there and look at those women on that pole and thinking that's cool, and the women on the pole thinking it's cool because they got a little, men giving them a little bit of money. I tell them this, man, dare to be great. Dare to check your ancestors out. Dare to look at these inventions in this book and see who you really are. Dare to check out our ancestors before they had such a thing as integration and civil rights. Go back and look at some of Dr. King's speeches, and I'm not talking about that I Have a Dream speech that they put in front of us, because he said that was a nightmare. Study all of Dr. King's stuff, and you'll see that man was revolutionary just like Booker T now.
Right.
He was ready. He was ready to take a, man, Jesse Jackson them sold him out. Well, let's go Operation Push. What? Brother man was doing Operation Breadbasket, feed the poor, and Lyndon Johnson sold him out. See, and then they try to kill our leaders, killing King, Malcolm, running Garvey out of the country. So it's a conspiracy against us. They don't like us because they know who we are. They know. And they don't ever want us to be on top, bro. And if we don't love each other and stop hating on each other and come together and unite with each other, like I said, you asked the question 15, 20 years, it's over for us, man. It's over for our children. I know you want your children to be in a better position. Well, it's on you, brothers and sisters out there just listening to this program, for y'all to dare to be great and stop this foolishness and this nonsense. Brother, you got me hyped up in here, bro.
Okay, we got about 10 more minutes. I mean, anything else you like to share in closing as we close out? I mean, brother, I love to get people's different perspectives. I love that on here.
Brother, well, I didn't mean to get so fired up, right?
No, that's fine. That's fine. We need that. They need to see that. Especially from an elder like yourself.
But no, bro. And another thing, man, our women taught me a lot, man. And we disrespect our women, man. A lot of brothers. I ain't gonna say all, but we disrespect our women, and our women got a lot they can do for us. And they ain't talking about this old women live stuff. I ain't talking about this nonsense that they're into now. Our women wasn't into that. They just joined that stuff.
But the feminism and Me Too and all that. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly, man. Destroying our men and talking about our men, putting Dr. Cosby in jail and throwing away the key. Man, I seen the time we'd have been walking around that jailhouse demanding that they release Dr. Cosby because these white boys is doing things and getting away with it and doing things to these women, doing worse things than it is the women. But our women are so involved in wanting to be in the entertainment industry, wanting to get a deal, wanting to be an actor, wanting to be Atlanta housewives. They don't understand they're dealing with the devil. They are actually dealing with the devil. When it was not integration, we had the Lincoln Motion Picture Company because all our films were in them 350 theaters that were for blacks. Now the Zionists done figured out how we gonna get the money from the blacks and don't
Black Panther.
Oh yeah, the Black Panther. I didn't even see that movie, man.
It was a good movie. It was a real good movie. It was a good movie.
That's what I hear. I'm gonna eventually see it, man. Because we need to be producing our own movies, man. They got down here in Atlanta, they got all these movie studios down here, and I'm not talking about Tyler Perry putting on a dress, looking like a woman, with all his films coming out with him. Man, it's disgraceful what these brothers are doing. And these Zionists are telling them, oh man, you better go put on the dress, and they better go put on the dress. Unless they don't want no movies, put your dress on and go out there. So what's this message, this brother? Well, Tyler Perry got a lot of money, man. What profits a man if he loses his soul and gain the world? You understand what I'm saying, brother? So we are involved in a lot of foolishness. We better watch our steps, man. Like I say, we better get back to God Almighty, whoever the Almighty you believe in. Spiritually, we better be asking for forgiveness and repenting. I ain't talking about these shiny toes preachers in these churches out here that's out for your money. I'm talking about you soul search yourself. Do research like this brother Dinus. Go do some research. I mean, this brother's a brilliant brother, man. Just go up on YouTube and look at his stuff, what he's doing. He's a pioneer. You're a pioneer, brother.
Thank you. I
mean, seriously, you're brave too. You're brave. And we're going to go to Africa like you. Go all over these countries and communicate with these brothers. I ain't going to Africa. I ain't lost nothing in Africa. Malcolm said you left your mind in Africa. You lost your mind in Africa. That's what Malcolm X said.
Right.
Go study Malcolm X. Listen to what Malcolm is saying after he left the Nation of Islam. Well, I tell you, the only people, I'm not into the Nation of Islam, but at least they're organized. Under Minister Farrakhan, I ain't gonna listen to Farrakhan. Who do you think he is? That's how they be talking, bro. These brothers be talking that kind of mess. And they be talking about they ain't no African. I got a screenplay I written over there when I was doing Garvey. Got a girl saying, who does Mr. Garvey think he is? I'll use my bleaching cream and I'll use my hairdo the way I want it, cause I ain't no African. Now what kind of nonsense is that, bro? That's nonsense. These people are our people too. They're our people. Even though we might be from another tribe or whatever, all this old tribalism mess needs to disappear off the continent of Africa.
I agree.
That's what Obama did. He killed Gaddafi. He had Hillary Clinton, the witch, talk him into killing Muammar Gaddafi. When Muammar Gaddafi was going to do a currency, he was going to deal in gold. That's why they killed Saddam Hussein. He wasn't going to deal in these dollars no more, man. In this country, if they ain't careful, they better be glad they got Trump in office. They better be glad, because if Hillary Clinton had got in there,
it would have been worse. That's what I'm trying to tell people. I don't agree with everything Trump does, but Trump was a better choice than Hillary Clinton. And I don't understand how people don't see that.
Man, these Negro women don't see it. I'm Obama mama. I'm a Hillary. Hillary, did you hear that speech? Here's how they've been. I've observed. I was down here trying to get this one sister on my distribution team to distribute my books and stuff, because she's already in the education system. And we were in her place one time, and Hillary Clinton was down here. This woman almost fell out of her chair, giving Hillary Clinton all kind of problems. Oh, did you hear the speech that she gave? I'm sitting there, I'm biting my lip because I didn't want to go off into no debate with her. I'm just saying, I'm thinking, is she foolish or what? Does she know who this woman is? Does she know what that woman did to Haiti? Got all that money, her and her husband.
They pass on it. What she did to Haiti, Libya, what her husband did to the black community in America, they were willing to overlook all of that. And I'm like, are you serious? How can you sit here and say, now Trump's a prick, but you cannot sit here and say that when it comes to black people that Trump has been more adverse versus Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton's track record has been horrible towards black people all over this planet.
Bill Clinton, her husband, got all them brothers up there in that jailhouse, up there in the prison system for the military and the prison industrial complex. They're making money off of us. We are in slavery all over again, bro. All over again because of foolish behavior out in that street, doing nothing out in the street, trying to be nickel slick, doing all kinds of crazy stuff, pants hanging down. How would you? They can spot, the police can spot them a mile a minute. You walking around with your pants hanging down, they think you're a thug already. And they gonna mess with you and mess with you. Put a suit on, bro. Put a suit on. Look decent again. Look decent. Like James Brown said, I'm black and I'm proud. Martin Luther King said, I'm black and I'm proud. Get back to this. This is what's gonna keep us back unified again. Black Panther Party unified us. I mean, they were doing things, what they do, destroyed, FBI, and with J. Edgar Hoover and all this nonsense, man. They don't want us to unify, bro. We got to do it ourselves. We got to come together spiritually and love one another. When I was in the military, man, I see a brother across the street and I give him the Black Power salute. He returned the salute. His mom was my mom. When I got back to the United States, because I'm from the Carolinas, I went down in the black community, man. I seen another brother cut another brother. I was blown away, bro. I could not believe it. I was shocked. And then when I went to DC and these brothers was into crime like they were, I don't even look at television down in Atlanta. I refuse to turn on the TV set and see all this nonsense that these brothers are involved in. They're gonna show that. They're gonna show all the crazy stuff the brothers are involved in, a little bit of stuff that the white boys are doing the same thing, but we're the ones out on Front Street. And when the foreigners come over here, they don't like to see us. They're all in the community. The Somalis all up in Minneapolis. Now check this out. Here is a lady just got in the House of Representatives. They all came to the black community. The white man put them in the black community, and all of a sudden, Keith Ellison gets out of the seat. I don't know why he got scared of his girlfriend saying something. Right. Rather than him grooming up Bobby Joe, he done went over there and groomed up this Somalian woman who has said she was for immigration policies. Right. Nothing for the black. She was writing me, hey, Rashad, can you support me? And I started writing her back saying, what have you said you're going to do for the black people that's been in this country for 100 years? Nothing. And they all tripping all over. Whoopi Goldberg. Oh, yeah. All of them tripping over these girls. The woman in Palestine, that Palestinian woman up there in Detroit over in that area, took over John Conyers' place. John Conyers been in the office for 30 years. Why did he groom up a black man to take that place? Why is the Negroes in Detroit so stupid and the ones in Minneapolis so stupid that they don't get politically involved in the school boards, in the political system, and they're gonna let these foreigners come over here and get in these positions over us? What kind of nonsense is that? Man, you got me hyped up in here, man. I didn't think it was gonna be this kind of interview.
No problem, brother. Hey, we will definitely have you back on. Can you please share with everybody your website, the name of your book, if you can show everyone your book, and how everyone can contact you?
Okay. First off, my website is www.A like in Alpha, F like in Frank, C like in Charlie, H like in Harry, O like in Oscar, N like in Nancy, at AOL .com, afcron.com. And if they want to email me, they're afcron, AFCHRON 5 at AOL.com. My books can be bought through Baker and Taylor, and you can request them. The Inventors books. You can request these little books for your kids. The ones that I've plated down. Activity books, I call them, with multiple choice, true and false questions and answers, sentence completions, how they learn how to write and stuff like that. And I even got some of these old Chinese books over here that they wanted me to sell, man. But I'm interested in black folks. I'm interested in the upliftment of my black people. If I can uplift these kids, if I can show these kids another way, contact me, man. Just contact me. Go to the website. You'll see what I got up there. I'm rebuilding it. So I got enough stuff up there where you can see, hey, look, this guy got a lot of stuff that they're not teaching my kids in school. And that's another thing. We came down here, went to these state social studies conference in Georgia, and these science and technology and engineering classes. Those black teachers walked past our displays like we wasn't nobody, man. And then the ones that would stop over there, they say they're gonna buy something. We never hear from them again, man. I was giving away 50-cent pieces of Dr. George Washington Carver and Booker T. Washington on the 50-cent piece. I don't know if you've seen one of those.
I haven't. No.
Oh man, 1946. I had those the 50-cent pieces. I was hey, you know, giving them away like door prizes. You think those brothers appreciated those brothers on them? On this is actual money, brother. This shows you how powerful our ancestors was. They felt George Washington Carver and Booker T. Washington were great people, man. If our people could just go back into history and see what these people were doing and how we got off track, how we lost all our farms, bruh, it's gonna come a time when World War III come in and these brothers ain't got no food and no water, and they ain't got no way of looking at how to get any, then they will finally wake up to what's happening. Go back to buying these farms. Don't let these Asians come over here and buy all these farms. Well, no, we don't want no farm. We want to put on our tennis shoes, these Michael Jordans, and then we want to go down to the club and look at the girls on the pole and drink our whiskey and smoke our smoke, and life goes on. No, bro, you're self-destructing, bro. Turn around. Turn around, brothers and sisters. Turn around. Hear what I say. I have nothing to lose, really, by telling you guys this. And I'm not afraid of nobody, because I'm not afraid of anybody to give you this information that I shared on this channel today. So I pray for you, brothers and sisters. I pray that you turn around. I pray that you invest in your kids. See what your kids is bringing home from these public school systems, because these public schools, this LGBT nonsense, they're pushing off on our little kids, man. And they got books and stuff. Watch these books and how your kids act, what they say when they come out of those schools every day. Check them out. Don't let nothing slide. Don't take anything for granted, because it's a war against us, brothers and sisters. Not only black people, but the white people too. And so I think our only hope is to get with the Southern white people, save America.
I don't know about all that, but brother, thank you for coming on, and we definitely will have you back on, brother. I appreciate it, brother. I really do. Everyone, grab this brother's book when you can. Make sure you go to the website. Brother Elder Rashad, thank you so much for coming on. Everyone, make sure you go to search for Huru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Also, make sure you like and share the video. I'll be back on with Kala. We're going to rise up here in about 20 minutes. So until next time, family, peace.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, brother. Bye-bye.
All right.